The Chad Prather Show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. You have a right to privacy. Protect it at expressvpn.com/watchchad. It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show here in the Mothership, which is Studio 22. We got a full house today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have some opinions about some opinions. My good buddy Tim Young is here, and we're going to talk to him. And look over here at Party Fouls Pub. Put your phone down, Steve. Act like you're on TV or something.
I was working.
My God in heaven, dude.
Other job, you know.
I know. Trust me, I know. There's one reason Steve comes on the show anymore. That's to promote his other stuff. Yeah. Would you please keep an eye on him?
He's not working.
No, trust me, I know. I know. Even when he's quote unquote working, he's still not working. This is what you get, folks.
Yeah. Young, you're Googling.
Thank you.
Are you really Googling me?
Listen,
Yes.
it's a matter of time.
Is there porn or
it's
what?
a matter of time before she'll be asking your address and looking you up on Google Maps.
Well, I already got, yeah.
Okay.
That's
fine.
That's what happens whenever guests come on this show. Natalie likes to find out where they live and look at their house.
What's happening right now?
I don't have any.
I know.
I don't own property.
There you
You
go.
don't?
I'm not an adult.
What are you going to do now?
Well, he has friends.
Okay.
It's fine.
There you go.
Figure it out.
This is a
My attorney in the
weird one.
corner. Yeah, you
No,
got it.
that's fine.
Let's bring it
What
back
should-
to the audience at large,
Oh, okay.
Steve. Instead of having your own little party over there. Bougie Sean is in the house. I'm trusting you at this point because these two morons are going to have to be separated.
This is insane. I want to be in the middle now because this is like the kids over here.
It is. It's like sitting at a kiddie table.
And a reverse Oreo.
Puppet Master Mark, Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians. I'm
What's
telling you something.
happening?
I think we're taking this show just to me. I think that's what we're going to do.
It's
Just
going
going
to
to
be a
be
one-man
me
show.
in the studio. We'll give this side to Allie Stuckey. I'll take the little house on the prairie over here. Okay? She can have Studio 22 with the whiskey and the dead animals and everything. And that screams Allie Stuckey.
Oh yeah, she's doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
She's hitting it
I
hard.
like the buffalo.
Buffalo's badass. That's our homage to Mighty Heaton, former host. Blaze TV. We call it Mighty Heaton after Andrew Heaton. Anyway, big show in store for you guys today. We're going to do opinions on opinions because let's face it, there's so much crap that's being spouted out there in the news media. At this stage in the game, it is all opinions because let's face it, when it comes to journalistic objectivity, if I read a news story or listen to a news story, if at the end of it I know what you support or whose side you're on, that's not journalism. So at this stage in the game, you can't watch any mainstream news outlet without hearing somebody's bias, and therefore we don't have journalism anymore. We're going to talk about that. Tim's going to weigh in on that because he's got tons of things to say about that and I'll tell you his biography in a minute. But you guys have got to understand something. We are in the middle of a situation, Sean, where nobody knows what the hell is going on. I don't care if it's coronavirus. I don't care if it's
Murder hornets?
geopolitical stuff. We don't know what's going on with China. We don't know if Kim Jong-un is dead or alive at this stage in the game. We have no clue. None whatsoever.
Kim Jong-un lives eternally in my heart.
Eternally right here?
Yeah, right here.
He's like not dear leader. He is, what is he? Supreme leader? Supreme leader right here.
Any guy who eats so much cheese you have to go to the hospital at any point in your life, that's my kind of guy. I'm for it. I mean, the suppression of people and stuff too. I'd be a terrible leader.
I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, who wants people talking bad about you? Lock them up, right? I mean, that's like
Yeah.
the.
Execute them.
I'd be a terrible elected.
Yeah. We'll get
Anything.
into that. We will talk about our dictatorial styles momentarily. But, hey, the anxiety and stress caused by debt, it's overwhelming. Some of you are feeling it really hard right now with everything that's going on. Makes you feel alone, like there's no way out, especially now. But, hey, there is a way out. You don't have to go through all this alone, and Freedom Debt Solutions is here to help you. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for getting out of debt. Freedom Debt Solutions has more than 400 debt experts standing by to recommend the right solution for your specific situation. So no matter which solution you may qualify for, Freedom Debt Solutions could help you get rid of expensive credit debt faster than you can on your own with one low, affordable monthly program payment. Since 2002, Freedom Debt Solutions has served over 750,000 plus clients, settled over 2.7 million accounts, and settled over $10 billion in debt. So if you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt and you know who you are and you're struggling to make those monthly payments, there's hope. Stop the stress and anxiety your debt is causing. Find out how you can talk to a Freedom Debt Solutions expert. Get your free personalized debt consultation today. Go to freedomdebtsolutions.com/watchchad. That's freedomdebtsolutions.com/watchchad. Go there today. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. As promised, Tim Young, my buddy, he's a comedian. He's also, you follow him on Twitter already. If not, you need to be, at Tim Runs His Mouth. And he does. He's a contributor on Patriot XM, Sirius XM. He's also got he's a host on DC's Fox, right?
Yeah, I have like 85 jobs.
You got a bunch of stuff, dude.
Yeah, I also write for the Washington Times.
Yeah.
I was just quoted by the White House
You
yesterday.
got quoted by the White House yesterday.
Yeah, so I just do whatever. Honestly, I have like 85 jobs. I figure, I'll get fired from a couple of them eventually here, so I need to pile them up.
You're a hustler.
Yeah.
I like it. I like when I turn on David Webb or Wilcow or whatever and I hear your voice.
And you tweet about it too. Like that's
I
the most.
do.
So you actually do listen. That's not like a BS thing that you're just saying for.
Yeah, I
you say
support
nice
my
things to
people,
guests.
man.
I lie to guests all the time. I act like I've read their shit and whatever.
Wilcow's accused me of that before. He's like, "Come on, dude, you're not listening." I love listening to Wilcow. I love it when he just goes off on people.
I filled in for him one time.
Yeah,
and that was it. Their
I
producers
remember the
never wanted
time
me.
you
They
did.
never wanted me back after that. No, actually, Wilcow is probably the hardest working guy.
Yeah.
On Patriot. I don't think the guy ever takes a day off.
No, he gets after it, dude. It's the Super Beats.
It's
the Super Beats.
He also has the biggest collection of. He's like a fanboy.
Yeah.
And he has the biggest collection of signed albums of anybody at Sirius. He's known for it.
Yeah.
So like he maps out and stalks people that come into Sirius XM and goes down and gets their autographs. It's an amazing collection, but it's a little weird for like an old guy to go get autographs from kids.
Yeah. And I've known that about him. He's a big time music fan.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so he'll talk music history and stuff like that but I mean his brain's like an encyclopedia anyway.
No, he's a genius, but I just think it's weird to get autographs from like people younger than you. At some point, right? Like when you like go to baseball games. I was a big Mets fan, not that anybody needs to know.
Ew.
And I would go get David Wright's signature, and like about the third or fourth time I got it because I'm a nerd as well. I'm like, wait, this dude is like 10 years younger than me. Like this is weird.
Yeah. So I didn't know that was like a prerequisite. Don't get autographs from anybody younger than you.
It's creepy, isn't it?
I get it. Yeah. I've never been an autograph person anyway. It never really has crossed my mind. I mean, I give them.
And not like a female celebrity. Like if I go get like a female celebrity's autograph, that's weird. Like I should be banned. Like if you're like my age and you have a gray beard.
See, the way I've looked at that is, to me, since we all carry phones with us all the time, like the picture is the autograph, the selfie. But it's just proof that I was with you. And I say that because I've got good friends that I won't name who used to sell NFL stuff and NBA stuff on eBay, and they would copy the signatures. Like they might have had one picture of Herschel Walker signing a football, and then they would go back in and copy the deal and sell it on eBay and post that picture like it was authentic. And
that's like a crime, isn't it?
It's a crime, and they have since
illegal.
repented of their ways, as best I can tell. They don't do that anymore. So for me, I've just never trusted the.
It was Glenn Beck who does that.
Glenn Beck.
That's who does that.
Glenn, there's stuff
he's been
signed
running
all over this building.
a fake signature business.
I think Herschel Walker might be standing in his office with a
could
football.
R2D2 in there. He stole that. Beck stole that. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Beck's a collector. He's got George Washington's hair, or so we're told. It's George Washington's hair. It could be Earl Johnson that worked down the street in Mount Vernon, but I don't know.
Yeah, how would you know?
I don't know.
Tim has Tiger King's hair.
I was going to say, I've got tiger hair. I just assume it's from some, like their employees. They just cut their hair and then they put it in a little jar and then they said, I went to the Tiger King Park that is still open.
I think most of the meth that they use there knocks most of the hair out.
And then they just put it in a jar.
Yeah, it just falls right out.
And they say that it's tiger hair.
So you just did a little cross-country trip.
I did.
And you mentioned you went to the Tiger King Park, the GW Zoo.
Yeah.
What were you doing going cross-country?
So I was doing a report for the Washington Times. I went from Austin all the way up to Minot, North Dakota. That's about 90 minutes. I don't think anything says that there. You probably just came up with their slogan, because there aren't a lot of people there.
No, there's not.
Meeting with small business owners. I dropped in about 15 to 17 towns. Met with small business owners talking about the effects of COVID-19 and getting shut down. I mean, you take a look at like a county like Rapid City. So South Dakota is supposed to be open. Rapid City passed a local ordinance that shut down, the city itself. And that county had 12 total cases, 10 recovered, 1 death. I mean, is that worth shutting down every business in the city?
Right.
The answer is no, obviously. And so I went and met with business owners up and down, and I have a very, very, probably one of the most serious pieces I ever wrote for the Washington Times coming out, talking about the effects of this and how awful it is for these businesses.
It is. It is awful, and my assumption is that's what you found in talking to these people.
Yeah, there was
how
only one
horrible it
person who
was.
thought things shouldn't be opened up, and it was this crazy lady in Temple. She worked at a little liquor store, and she had a clear shower curtain hanging from the ceiling in front of her. And she said all the deaths were spiking. And I go, the deaths are spiking? Oh my God! Like here, this is where. She's like, yeah, we had 2 in the past 2 weeks. And I go, wow, that's
spike.
When you talk about flattening the curve, and it went.
You're not look. And the worst thing is like people will take that and be like, you want people to die.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you want people to die. And it's like, no, I don't want people to die, but like on the same hand, from COVID, on the same hand, how many people are depressed? How many people can't get food? How many people can't afford any of their bills? In the entire county, I think in that county, in Temple, it was like 340,000 people and 2 deaths.
2 deaths.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
And then you start looking at the numbers of how many people died of other things out of that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna die of a heart attack in a second.
Yeah.
Well, think about all the elective surgeries.
I definitely could.
So people aren't allowed to get elective surgeries right now, and they're elective 2 months ago. They become necessary now. Like, and there are people. I have not seen articles in America that talk about this, but God, I hate being serious.
No, it's true. Go ahead.
But in
Jump on
Canada,
it.
there's been an article. I think 35 people died of heart complications that they should have had elective surgeries for already in just one area of Canada. I think it was like Winnipeg or something like that. That has to be happening across the United States right now, and we're just not hearing it.
Okay, I
Well,
thought
it
you were
is.
talking about boob jobs as an elective surgery.
That's what. Well, see, people.
That's important.
It is important.
Well,
Wow.
Boob jobs.
Boob jobs.
I had to repent yesterday because you always say some pretty funny one-liners that we just skim over because you're a woman. And you said something.
well, women aren't funny, Chad.
No, they're really not.
Small
No,
brains.
None of y'all laugh.
It was, that's why they get the bigger boobs. That's why they have to get the bigger boobs, because it's a compensation for the brains. Why we drive bigger trucks, bigger vehicles. So
I'm going back right now.
You said something really funny yesterday, and we
Did.
just glossed over it.
Did.
I was listening back to the show, and I texted you, and I said, that was really funny. I'm sorry that I was not paying attention to anything coming out of your mouth at the time.
The problem is that things, when they come out of my mouth, are irrelevant at the time. So you.
Well, it wasn't, though,
Ignore
because
it.
it was really a funny line, because we were
Thanks.
talking about the deficiencies in vitamin D and how that can contribute to COVID death and mortality, and you said, I'm getting a lot of vitamin D. Ta-da-tats.
That's a penis reference.
That was a penis reference. It was
I got it.
It was a purely
You broke that
phallic
down
joke.
so fast.
Yeah.
You're smart.
I'm good at this.
See, I totally missed it. I had to hear her say it twice.
She said it twice.
Well, she said it here,
replayed
and then I heard it on the radio.
There's nothing worse than having to repeat a one-liner, though. I know you didn't, but like,
especially if it's a
especially a
fart
penis
joke or a
joke.
dick joke or something
Yeah.
like that. That's when it gets bad.
I'm
with
certainly.
self-laughing in between.
Yeah.
I'm not a comedian by trade, as you obviously can tell.
You dropped some pretty funny ones, though.
You guys are, so I certainly have respect
Well,
for
it's
you.
true, but we're being serious. Like, I
Yeah.
think this whole COVID thing is a farce. I think the whole thing is a farce. I'm not saying it's not real, that people aren't dying from it, that it doesn't exist. I'm saying all of the stuff surrounding it is farcical, in that there's powers at play
Oh,
that just don't make sense.
Well,
Bill
there-
Gates,
yeah, he makes no
he's
sense. I
not a
don't
doctor.
understand
He's
why
not a scientist. He has nothing to do with that community.
But that's literally the same criticisms that they have about Donald Trump when Donald Trump talks about it, which is what I love. They're like, he's
Yeah.
not a doctor. Why would you listen to him? By the way, Bill Gates says that we should all have vaccines.
right.
Like, it's what? No,
That's exactly right. And the difference is Bill Gates, and that's another point, he's not an elected official.
no.
He's not an elected official,
He's
whereas
just
Donald
rich.
Trump is.
I mean, he's rich, so you can listen to him because he's rich.
I guess. I that nerd ain't pumping no crap into me.
No,
I
he
can
put
tell you
that to
that.
me. No.
See, I think, this is just me thinking.
I'm gonna drink while you're thinking.
I think that they want everybody on the planet to get coronavirus, so there's a demand for the vaccine, and guys like Tony Fauci make hundreds of billions of dollars, which if you're 80 years old, I don't know what you're going to do.
I think you're wrong.
Billions, but you think so?
If you get it, you get the antibodies for it. You don't get it again. So
theoretically,
I think the idea is the marketing behind it. So, and right now, I think most of America thinks, number one, that when you get it, you automatically die. I think that's why people are staying in their houses afraid.
True. Yeah.
Like they think that everything is coming to an end, and that's why people are like wearing masks, like going for jogs. You're wearing a mask going for a jog by yourself. That makes no sense. You're only wearing a mask if you have it to not spread it to someone else. It's not stopping things from coming in unless it's an N95 mask, which, by the way, I wore one yesterday for the first time.
And even that's limited.
It's the worst. Yeah, that's limited too. No, it's all the propaganda behind it. So, if you scare everyone to death, you can do many, many things. I mean, take a look at like San Diego. Let's talk about like just the government control in this situation. San Diego now has San Diego County, because San Diego City is run by Republicans. They don't like it. They're fighting this. Has an indefinite stay-at-home order. Why in the hell would you have that? Their numbers have not spiked. Their numbers are going down. Everything has worked.
Yeah.
And people are going along with this and calling the police on their neighbors and whatnot because they think that this is a death sentence. Yeah. And that's where you're going to push the vaccine, and that's where everybody's going to go, is because they will line up in fear.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And if
I'm touching my face, by the way.
If it's not a deal for COVID, then they can threaten you with the next thing that comes along.
And now they know they can.
Yeah, exactly. They've learned every weak spot on that. It's just like Oregon now has extended their deal until the 6th of July.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense at all.
Nope.
So anyway, hang tight. We're gonna come back. We're gonna blow your mind on some more stuff. Don't go anywhere. Sitting down with my buddy Tim Young, who's hanging out. He's been all across the country, being important and stuff.
Nah.
And I'll tell you, are you doing any comedy?
No. It's all been serious lately. Honestly, well, I'm doing a show.
And I say that, I mean, prior to this whole,
I just got picked up by the Parler app. I'm going to have my show's going to be over there called That Was a Week. And I'm going to make fun of everything that's been going on in the news for the week. That
cool.
Seems pretty self-explanatory.
How are you going to be set up on Parler? It will be video?
Video, yep.
Deal? That's cool.
So start that tomorrow. I have to get that filming. You can film from anywhere in the country.
That's cool.
And I'm going to keep traveling for a little bit. It looks like after this, I'm staying in Dallas for about 2 weeks, and then I'm going up to Minneapolis, and I'm going to take the cross-country train over to Portland. And probably go to
nobody's shutting you down.
No, well, I'm media.
He's essential.
We're essential, yeah. And I'm actually covering this stuff. I really want to go to the drive-in strip club in Portland. There's a drive-in strip club right now. You wait for your food.
Yep.
And they dance socially distanced away from you.
Yep.
And you sit in your car.
Genius.
I've read the story
guy was
on
a
that,
genius.
but I didn't know.
Yeah. They should do that anyway. I feel like that would be like a good takeout just on the side of their regular business.
I'm not upset with the escort. I mean,
you have a car wash service right on the other side of it after you drive through, and they
how they
clean
used
the
to
inside
have
out for you.
They used to have that ride at Disney World that you got on. It was like a submarine that went down under the water, but you were like on an underground or an underwater
20,000 Leagues
roller
Under the Sea.
coaster. Like the leagues under 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Right. And like I feel like that could be like a strip club. Like you should strip club the ride. And you get on there and you're like in a little tube and it just.
And at the very end, it's like the weirdest shit, and then you veer off.
Real psychedelic.
Like it looks like you're headed towards something really
have
bad, and then
unexplainable rashes.
Please don't take that off. I didn't sign up for dudes. Swerve.
And
they
like
get your
one
picture.
of those pick your adventure books. Like you push a button as you're going through. Which track do you want to take? I'm going to Sodom. Oh shit! They do gay stuff here.
Whoa.
I didn't know.
My wife turned into a pillar of salt.
Nope. There's dudes. That's crazy. Speaking of crazy, Jeff Bezos, he wants to build a dystopian United States of Amazon. Do you realize how much Jeff Bezos is worth? My God.
35 billion? No,
140.
What?
140 billion.
140
How do you
billion.
spend that money?
You don't?
You don't.
You
But
start
his yacht-
taking over
his
the world
super
like
yacht
George
is
Soros or something? Is that like this
amazing,
thing?
I mean,
seen-
what would you do with that much money?
Have you seen his super yacht? I mean, I just have 4 of them just because.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at
Why
that
not?
point, I would think that nothing would have any value.
I think so. I agree. If you can just afford anything, I won't say who, but I dated a billionaireess once.
Okay.
And she had no rules growing up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after the show.
I bet she was a real treat.
She was a real treat. When you have all the money in the world and no rules, and no one will stop you because, of course, everybody in town knew who she was and her family. And so it was probably the most insane, I'd say, month and a half. I dumped her. I couldn't handle it that I ever had.
What?
And she, in order to get even with me, she dumped me, and she went to, again, back to the Mets thing. She went to the World Series the Mets were in that year and took a picture from the owner's box. And
They lost, though,
That was
right?
a strong move.
Take that.
What a trick.
Yeah.
Which one was it? The Yankees Mets or the Royals Mets?
I think it was Yankees Mets.
Oh, that was a bad one for you
That'll
guys.
learn you.
Whenever you guys would go on a date, did you feel pressured or obligated to pay for the meal? Or?
I paid the first time.
You did?
But then,
Stop.
I would say, hey, I like XYZ Lego set, and I would end up with the entire series
Awesome.
of.
Nice.
It was a great run.
Nice.
Were you on the 4th grade?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tim's making fun of people getting autographs from folks younger than him, but he
toys.
likes the young Lego
I
set.
collect toys. It's fine.
Wow. I thought he was asking for like an Aston Martin, but he said Lego set.
I did not. I felt bad. I should have asked for cars.
Yeah, you
Or a
should.
helicopter.
You have to last longer than a month and a half.
No, you don't. With the no, probably
When she
not.
started going
Worth the
through
Lego
every,
set, though?
she went through every female on my Facebook page and started questioning me about every female. And about number 6 was when I was like, we're done.
It's like you're married.
Got it.
I would have done it.
See, that's the thing, because you go out on the first date and you buy steak sandwiches at the Western Sizzlin'. After that, I'm thinking that her tastes are a little bit more sophisticated. She's like, you know what, I got this from now on.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah, I
flying to Vegas for dinner tonight.
But have you ever dated anybody? Like, I dated someone whose father was famous, okay? And then, but if you date somebody that comes from a wealthy family, that's tough.
Yeah.
That girl, she's not heard no a lot.
No,
Right?
not at all. And I mean, I don't want to get into details of it, but there was very little guidance as a child as well.
Yeah.
Just a lot of money.
Yeah. Raised by the nannies.
Yeah. You don't turn out to be a great person, by
I'm
the way.
fine
in
with
that
it.
instance.
I'm not a great person now, and I'm poor. I mean, what's the difference?
And were you going to be accepted by the family?
Yes.
You were. Okay.
They didn't like I was a Republican though, but you know.
Yeah. I bet you they lived conservative, though.
Yeah, they did.
Have you ever known really rich people that lived liberal? They gave all their stuff away and
No.
had bleeding hearts?
They talk about it though. They talk
do.
a lot about it, and my favorite is when wealthy people, especially famous people, set up charities so that poor people can give them money to give to other people rather than them give their own money to
I
other
do
people.
that now.
It's fair.
I didn't give him my own money.
Smart. And then you funnel all of your property through that. It's a scheme, right? So then you don't have to pay taxes. Anyway, it's a whole nother.
That's a whole deal, man.
Rich staying rich.
Jeff Bezos, it said he could buy every top football team, the top 3 European soccer teams, plus every team where they give each other Parkinson's, never mind, and still have the cabbage to buy Viacom, CBS, and take his date to Paramount movie premieres in style after purchasing a Ferrari.
You're good at reading.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sense
It's
of
funny
this
because
article
his company came out and said that they needed help to help their employees. It's like, hey, we're going to start a charity, and they got pushback. It's like you're asking people from Amazon. Amazon's asking people to send them money so they can pay their employees. It's like you're worth
okay, and that's the point I was getting to on this, because that's what they go to in this
I
article.
send him money almost daily.
Yes,
Says-
I think we all do.
Yeah, Bezos, I did late last night and early this morning. You posted about it.
Yeah.
You said they ought to have like a cutoff, right?
Yeah, or
After 10
an
p.m.
app after 10 p.m. because of buying stuff when you're drunk. So
Yeah, because you're
it was-
drunk after 10 p.m.
Yep.
every single night. You don't want to be on spending money on
I
Amazon.
buy some stupid shit.
Well, I love it because you never know what's going to show up. Like a box just shows up. And you're
surprise.
like, it's like
Fun.
Christmas.
I got to beat my friends that I stopped by in Bismarck, North Dakota, were part of the reviewer program, and they just get free stuff. Like Amazon just sends them stuff, and not like not junk.
Yeah.
They sent them like chairs, beds, like anything, TVs, computer. There are people that are like they would come out in the morning and they would have a whole box full of stuff. They had no idea what they were getting from the Amazon review program.
That's awesome.
And it's like
It's
basically
like getting Tac Pack.
How do you apply for that? Can anybody do that?
You just get asked to
Steve,
do it after
trust
like
me,
your.
you said that in the presence of the wrong human being. This dude, Party Foul, is a scavenger.
A review from Party Foul? You gonna take that serious?
I've seen Steve walk around this studio looking in the trash going, that's a pretty good 2x4. Like it's 1 foot of 2x4. Yeah, but it's solid, man.
Also, I
don't
feel
want
like
it
the
to go to
studio,
waste.
you can
Resourceful.
find stuff that's worth something. I'd go down that road.
Yeah.
You don't know what kind of movie paraphernalia's in the junk and the trash around here.
I'll
just
give
walk
you the
around.
tour. I'll give you the tour when we're done. Have you ever been in this building?
Yeah.
You've been
Years-
in here,
like
right?
10 years ago.
Yeah. There's some
I
stuff.
almost worked for the Blaze.
Yeah?
And then they
Well,
were
you
like,
dodged him.
They were
I
like, don't.
almost worked for him.
Yeah, Steve still almost works for the Blaze.
Almost worked.
I worked for them twice.
Yeah. There you go. I tried to get you on 3 times.
We're just
They were like, But that's the thing. Bezos just increased. He wants credit for increasing their deal from $15 to $17 because they gave him a $2 hazard pay raise. But that's temporary. As soon as all this stuff settles down, it's going back to $15.
Yeah, go back down. Yeah.
It's hard to take money away once you give it, though. I think they would run into a little bit of
But
trouble.
Amazon hired like 100,000 people, and then we're hiring another 75,000 through this whole process.
Yeah, but what is happening is people are getting more and more used to online buying, even more so. So it's going to be a lot easier to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But about taking that money down, like if you see where these Amazon warehouses are, they're not necessarily always in like a good part of the country, and people may not have an option
Right.
for another job. So if they take that $2 back, those folks are screwed.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the
There's
deal
one over
right
here.
there.
There's a fulfillment center over here.
Not on South Lake. Not in South Lake.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no,
No,
Not in the
that's
Lakes,
South
baby.
no.
No, I was on late last night and I was looking on Amazon because you can't really go shopping. It's Mother's Day coming up, and if my wife happens to listen or watch this particular episode, you still have nothing coming. But I was looking at Amazon to see if I need to order something. I wound up buying stuff for me. You know what I bought, Sean? I bought a camera that I could talk through outside. Like I have cameras around the house, but out back I can't talk through it. So I bought a camera just so I could talk to the dogs.
Tell the dogs to shut up.
Shut up. Just to tell the dogs to shut up. Because they're killers. They're killers. Oh, my gosh.
Can I
Jeff
ask,
Bezos.
Tim, can I ask you a question?
Oh,
Is this
here we
about
go.
property that I own?
Here we go.
Did you Google something to ask?
Oh, no. I just wanted to know what the White House quoted yesterday.
Oh, they quoted. I wrote an article on.
He'll send you the link.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. You can go to. It's on West Wing Reads. They quoted an article I wrote about Donald Trump giving the power to the states to reopen. And I said that's a good move forward. And they quoted just that piece. And if you go read the entire article is if Democrats don't open soon, they're going to convert voters to Republican. So I think we're going to have a lot of new red voters in a lot of areas where they didn't think they were going to be red voters.
So there's an opinion piece here. We got a couple of minutes. Let's talk about it. It says, Republicans, who do you think is bailing out your state? And they basically break it down to say, and I read part of this, that says the blue states are bailing out the red states.
Are they?
I don't know. It says some of the Trump, again, it's an opinion piece. Some in the Trump administration have suggested that withholding aid is a great way to pressure states to reopen sooner than later. It says some Republicans are presenting the issue as a partisan clash, even a question of morality. Chief among them is Mitch McConnell. There's not going to be any desire on the Republican side to bail out state pensions by borrowing money from future generations. He suggested rather than receiving additional aid, states should be allowed to declare bankruptcy. Of the 20 states with the most favorable balance of payments, a handful at most are blue. For every dollar in federal taxes it pays, New York receives 91 cents in return, behind only Connecticut, which receives 84 cents for each dollar. New Jersey and Massachusetts receive 90 cents per dollar. Mr. McConnell's home state of Kentucky, by contrast, rakes in $2.41 for every tax dollar it sends Washington. Yeah. So, in other words, Kentucky is being subsidized by blue states like New York and New Jersey. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I don't know what I think about. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped at New York Times. I don't know where.
Candace is good about throwing New York Times at me, and I'm like, well, the New York Times said it.
I didn't know you had a liberal that worked for
Suck
you.
it, libs.
She's closeted.
Every now and then. Yeah, it's a weird deal.
Whereas, as opposed to like where I am when I do TV in New York, God, in DC, I don't even know where I live anymore.
Yeah.
When I do TV in DC, I'm like the only conservative in the entire building.
Yeah.
When I go in, I mean, you should see when things come down, when like Trump does things. It's really fun to hear people's opinions when they're not on air, and then
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that.
mine doesn't change.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk more about it. We'll come right back. Tim, do you think we should be allowed to mail in our ballots?
Hell no. I mean, like, I understand. Like, I understand. You know, if you absolutely can't vote, you know, in person, you have to be out of state or whatever. Like, I get that.
Yeah, an absentee ballot. Yeah.
But no, hell no. And the fact that like Hillary Clinton is the #1 proponent of this, like, you're like, okay, you're up to something.
That ought to tell you everything.
Where was this in 2016? Was nowhere to be found in 2016.
Yeah. Anything when it comes to elections and voting, and Hillary Clinton's got anything to do with it, like that deal they had in Iowa, the ballot machines that were there that came from her former campaigners or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, anything they have anything to do.
Hillary's a very honest person.
Yeah.
She's very trustworthy.
We'll talk a little bit more about Hillary in a second, but, you know, people are saying that a lot of folks are saying that we should never have to vote in person again.
People who want to cheat think that. It's only Democrats.
100%.
We just Googled. I did not find this, but it was Brenda Snipes in Florida who randomly showed up and had trunks full of ballots. Just like, hey, I found these. What are we doing with these? You need these to.
I mean, the whole thing. Do you like paper ballots or computer ballots?
I like paper ballots.
Yeah, I do too. See, we still use those here in Texas. We take the piece of paper and slide it in the little slot. Somebody's got to get it. And
if this show was like from like 2000, it would be called Hanging with Chad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a bulging Chad. But that's another story. But that's the whole deal is a low voter turnout. That's what they're trying to do. And my argument there has always been, and people don't understand it a lot of times, is you go over to your elderly grandparents' house, right? And there's their ballot sitting on the counter. And they're like, oh, I need to vote. Don't worry, Grandma. I'll take care of that for you. Joe Biden. Did you
Actually,
vote
that's
for
what somebody has to do.
Donald Trump?
That's what somebody has to do with Joe Biden's ballot. That's exactly the process.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's too much for that. And then, you know, somebody steals a big old bucket of ballots and fills them out and sends them in. And
Brenda Snipes.
That's
what's going to happen. I
People
mean,
say, well, it can't happen. Well, it happens.
I mean, the big question again, and I said this kind of like passively earlier, is if this was such an important thing, why didn't Hillary push it in 2016 when she thought she could win?
Yeah.
It's obviously done because they know they're going to lose this time around.
I tweeted last night about, I said the poll you need, correct me here, because this is not a poll, but show me where I'm wrong. Donald Trump has 79 million Twitter followers. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden has 5 million. That right there ought to tell you a lot.
Donald Trump knows what Twitter is. Joe Biden.
I think Jill Biden tweets for Joe.
You think so?
Yeah, it ain't Joe.
She goes to a bar, you know, the bar classes that women do.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what is it, like fake ballet? Is it fake ballet? Is that what it is?
Well, sure.
Is that like doing
I guess you can call
why
it.
are you looking at her? She's never done anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've taken them.
She's a former Cowboys cheerleader. She can't dance.
Well, like bar, like
yes,
so.
they're like bar method. Is
that like
it's a
doing
good
soft
workout.
martial arts?
She used to go every day with my ex-girlfriend in Alexandria, so she's not doing anything.
You don't think so?
The billionaire ex-girlfriend?
Do you
No,
not think
another
that
one.
Joe Biden's
I have
being
a lot
propped
of-
up by
I'm
Jill a little?
The worst.
Like Jill wants to be Mrs. Bezos?
I don't
kinda?
think she cares.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think she cares at all.
I don't know, man. I get a
She just
different read
seems-
from her when I'm watching those things, and she's doing the talking for him, and
And she's holding him up.
yeah, and she's got him propped up.
She's just like.
Joe's
Spotter's
got a
ready,
kickstand,
spotter's
and
ready.
it's Jill.
Well, you know, sometimes
it's the
you can
most
tell
awkward
the
shit.
difference between her and his sister. That's fun.
I know.
Once in a while.
Yeah,
Which is-
it was weird when he woke up with his sister. Oh, you're not. I thought you smell like Jill. Look. I was watching. I can't get over when I watch these Joe Biden videos of him just groping and touching and feeling faces and hair. You've seen him 1,000 times, but you see him again, you're like, this is really freaking weird.
Yeah. Once sexual assault allegations come out, it puts a new filter on
Yeah.
it. You're like, oh man, keep him away from kids. Like
Yeah.
keep him away. Like what is this like? And also, again, not to always say this, but could you imagine if they had a compilation like that about Donald Trump? Mm-hmm. Like that would be played nonstop. Alyssa Milano would be crying over it. There would be all sorts of.
As soon as they find that one video of Joe Biden going, it's over for him.
What?
Hey, he's your friend, Sean. He's your friend.
Why am I over here?
That's why Steve almost works for the Blaze. Right there. That reason. Last week we read a tweet and he goes, I bet that person's not white.
He was.
Right, he was white. Yeah. Squeezy Jibs.
I took it back.
Squeezy Jibs. He was white.
Back. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, my
Stand
bad. My bad.
Oops.
Still sounds black to me, but my bad. Joe, like when Gloria Allred's daughter, what's her name that came out?
Lisa Bloom.
Lisa Bloom, who says, "Look, I believe you, Tara Reid, but
Yeah.
I can't vote for Trump, so I got to vote for Joe Biden." I believe you. I mean, I believe you're telling the truth. Switch Tara Reid's name with Christine Blasey Ford. Imagine somebody saying, any Republican saying, "Listen, Christine Blasey Ford, I believe you. I believe you're telling the truth, but I'm going to have to vote for Brett Kavanaugh."
You would lose your job.
Yeah.
They would be they would be plastered all over. If they were of note, they'd be plastered everywhere, and that would be the end of their lives.
And that's the deal. There's an article here. It talks about Joe Biden helped bring the Me Too movement into existence, and now it's collapsing with him. Believe all women is dead, right? That's the whole deal. I said that Monday on the News and Why It Matters. I said the thing is, any progress that you made with the Me Too movement of giving women the courage to come out and speak, you took all of that back.
Well, Nancy Pelosi said, "Well, Joe Biden's Joe Biden."
Yeah.
Like that's
We've seen.
boys will be boys. Like that's
But
like
it's
her.
insane. Because if you look at Buttigieg, when he literally they ran that guy through the ringer, and nothing comes. Joe Biden's like, "Oh yeah, it's Joe is Joe," like you just said. It's like, how do you accept that? Like you're just okay with it now. But the guy that didn't do anything at all with a lady who had a false statement was like, when I was in college, he touched me, ran him through the ringer, embarrassed the hell out of him. But Joe Biden's like, it's only Joe. I mean, yeah, he's just fine touching people. It's okay. How do we forget about that?
They don't. I think they just think people are stupid. This would work if it was like the 70s or the 60s where you didn't have the internet and 24-hour news.
Yeah.
If we just were working off of newspapers, they'd be like, "Oh, sure, whatever." I wonder what people got away with then.
Oh, don't you know?
Everything.
Well, I mean, you go back to people like Lyndon Johnson, who's taking a dump in front of his staffers with the door open, making them take notes of, while he's sitting on the toilet. I mean, you have the stories of all of those things that are there, but you don't have the ongoing 24-hour reports of these things. You can't just jump on Twitter and say, "Well, I had to watch the president take a shit while he was doing a staff meeting this morning." You don't have those things. You got John Kennedy, who's running folks in and out, doing the thing.
He was like the
pimping.
Hardcore. Like, didn't he have a quote that he gets a headache if he doesn't have sex in 3 days or something like that?
Yeah.
Could you imagine a modern president saying that? Well, if Obama said it, people would be like, he's so cool.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Be like, you know
Wow.
what? He got that from George Clooney.
Player president. That would have been like the headlines on New York Times. Player president would have had him with like a smoking jacket and
He'd be like, he's so much like Hugh Hefner.
yeah.
He's just the next generation of Hugh Hefner. It's sexuality, but with class.
Modern playboy.
Yeah, modern playboy. And he's black. So he's
Totally off topic.
Pimping.
Totally off topic. Why does Playboy have White House press credentials? Why are they in?
I don't know. I mean, that's it. And that dude's a jerk.
Yeah, and he picks fights with people. Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish Seb Gorka would have punched him in the mouth that one day.
That would have been so fun.
I mean, and Seb ain't a little guy. But when he's spouting off to Seb Gorka, I was like, just knock him out. Just knock him out, dude. The guy's a jerk.
But why are they there?
I don't know. I guess the same reason I have press credentials and I do this shit.
I was going to say the same reason I read Playboy, the articles.
Yeah. Well, I look at the pictures. I just think that the whole deal with Biden, everybody knows.
Yes.
You watch those videos and the girls pulling away and they're uncomfortable. And I mean, these are children who are uncomfortable. And so everybody knows how he is. They know how he is.
And it's got to be getting worse.
That thing out.
Now that he can't remember anything, it's got to be getting worse.
Do you think that ultimately it's a ploy? They're going to pull him out, run somebody else.
No.
You think he's the guy, huh?
I think they have such a bad plan right now. It's going to be him. I think it's still going to be Stacey Abrams. I think they're just sticking to the plan. They think it's going to work. I don't think they're smart enough to put all this together. If they put somebody else in, if you're a Democrat voter, wouldn't you feel ripped off? I mean, I couldn't imagine if you supported any of the other candidates on that Super Tuesday setup that dropped out to get him all the votes, you would have to feel like ripped off.
Yeah.
I think they're disenfranchising their entire base.
And you take as an example, you just get on Twitter and take the time to read the comments long enough, or Facebook or wherever. People are like, oh, well, Orange Man is bad. And that's ultimately the summary of everything. You're making no educated arguments about anything. So, and I know there's the low information voter on both sides of the thing, but the arguments that I'm hearing are so dumb. I'm like, sometimes I wonder, you guys really think that Joe Biden has a chance to do this? And here, I'm predicting this. I've already done it in other places, but I'm predicting this. You watched him. Donald Trump will decimate him so bad in debates. If they get to have him publicly, he'll decimate him so bad they will be accusing Donald Trump of being a bully.
Mm-hmm. Elder abuse. Yeah, absolutely. That's the game right now.
Yeah.
They're going to show. Well, Joe Biden hasn't given a speech of more than 15 minutes live in front of a crowd.
Right.
In like a year, 2 years. He can't handle a 90-minute debate. He was provided cover in all of those debates, whether it be from more candidates or how they kind of like spaced it out and let him sit and all the other ways that they did it. Him against Donald Trump, hardcore 90 minutes. It's going to be he's going to beat him to death.
Oh yeah, it's going to be just plow his field under. It's going to be ridiculous, and that'll be the accusation. But you'll see, something will come out where they'll say, well, we can't hold these debates, or at least we can't do it in front of a live crowd.
Unless they have it live on CNN with only Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon crying during the debates.
Yeah.
They're the only people safe enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they just have a baby?
Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper?
They didn't have it.
They're not together.
Oh.
They got a baby.
They're separate. It's a different
Anderson
couple.
Cooper.
Oh.
I still think I'm still not sold that somebody else doesn't drop in.
If it is, it's Hillary.
Could be. I just can't imagine being Hillary Clinton, who had a rigged election. She was a shoo-in. It was her time. And honest to God, looking at Joe Biden going, you got to be kidding me. We'll be right back. Murder hornets. That's what I'm worried about now.
They're huge.
Yeah. I saw a video. It's disturbing. I saw one that was attacking a mouse and killing the mouse, and mouse was doing all it could to fight back. Have you seen that little video?
No.
Yeah.
How do you think they are in soup? You think they make a good soup?
Well,
do they have them over
I'll
in the
ask
wet
somebody
market?
in Wuhan.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they've eaten them.
Oh, they've eaten everything.
They've eaten everything. They've been doing it for 5,000 years. It's disgusting. I don't know. Those are big. They're like 2 inches.
They're scary.
And they call them murder hornets because they rip the heads off the honeybees. They said that like 30 of them can kill a hive of 30,000 in just a matter of minutes.
I don't like the outdoors. I'm going to stick to cities.
Right?
Wait, so if I stick in a city, I'm forced to stay at home and I get fined if I leave the house, but then I'm protected from. See, that'll keep me home. Murder hornets will keep me at home.
Well, that's the deal. I put the meme out last night about, you got the redcoats and the Patriots, and it says, stay home. And they're like, kiss our ass. And it's like, release the murder hornets. I'm like, wait, what? The what? What's this now? Oh, my gosh. Tim Runs His Mouth on Twitter, at Tim Runs His Mouth. You need to go. And of course, it's plastered all over his tweets where he got quoted by the White House. So you can see that.
I did that.
Yeah. He
West
sent it to
Wing
me.
reads.
He's like, hey, guess what? Boom, there's the link.
Also, I never wear cowboy hats, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime beard. So,
did you rob a homeless guy? I love it.
I got this. So I got this from a Valero next to a
Nice.
farm.
Which is perfectly good. It
And
blocks the sun.
the lady was like, the guys who work in the fields wear those hats. I'm like, this is for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means,
100%.
but the guys who work in the fields.
I love it. Tim Young, catch him all over the place. Like he said, he's got 86 jobs. That's the deal. Party Foul Steve, Bougie Sean, Hot News Natalie, Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians, the Puppet Master Mark. Everybody's got a nickname around here. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then Cowboy Tim Young.
The lack of a human resources department has really helped out those.
Helps a
I'm
lot.
a human resources
Helps a
nightmare,
lot.
trust me. Hey, go to watchchad.com. That's where all the good stuff is. Leave us a rating and review where podcasts are offered. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel right there where you're at watching this thing right now. Get $30 off your Blaze annual subscription. We love y'all. God bless you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.